Project Fear is in full swing. Share if you are not scared of no deal. Did you know that in 1926 Nikola Tesla filed a US Patent Office document AF 5362525 with the title Hemp Rectifying Modulator? The reefer plant on the West Indian Negro has remarkable healing and spiritual properties. Scared of some of the religious and health? I have no doubt that in the near future, reefer hemp will replace petroleum additives in both engineering and medicines. Nikola Tesla. At least it would have if it hadn't been suppressed by the evil bastards. Tory Home Secretary says government should be allowed to read people's WhatsApp messages. The Home Secretary has claimed end-to-end encryption on Facebook's messaging platform would hinder police investigations into child abuse and terror plots. Piss off! After the Five Eyes Security Summit, which took place on Monday and Tuesday, Priti Patel said tech firms should not empower criminals with their products. And by that she means nobody should be allowed to have any private messages. Senior ministers from the Five Eyes Partnership, comprised of the UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand and the US, met tech firms at the London meeting to discuss security issues. Their security, not ours. They voiced their concerns about end-to-end encryption used by messaging apps such as WhatsApp and Telegram, where only the messenger sending the receiver can see its content. The platform itself cannot read the message, meaning there is no way for investigators to obtain information on criminal activity directly from the firms. Department of Defence plans for 5G military rollout. If that doesn't tell you that 5G is military, I don't know what's going to. Executive summary, the term 5G refers to the oncoming fifth generation of wireless network and technology that will produce a step change improvement in data volume and latency, delay in data transfer over fourth generation 4G and 4G LTE networks. 5G will enable a host of new technology that will change the standard of public and private sector operations, from autonomous vehicles to smart cities, virtual reality and battle networks. Historical shifts between wireless generations suggest that the first mover country stands to gain billions in revenue, accompanied by substantial job creation and leadership in technology innovation. First movers also see standards and practices that were then adopted by subsequent entrants. Conversely, countries that fell behind in previous wireless generation shifts were obligated to adopt standards, technologies and architecture of the leading country and missed out on a generation of wireless capabilities and market potential. This just goes on and on, but it sounds like it's for 5G as opposed to what it should be, which is anti-5G, of course. 1-year-old prescribed antidepressants by NHS Scotland. As many as 450 children given mood-altering drugs by health service in Tayside, new figures reveal. A 1-year-old boy was prescribed antidepressants by the NHS in Scotland as prescriptions for the drug soar across the UK. They're doing it to make money and to poison us all. NHS Tayside in Dundee prescribed the medication to 450 children between January and May this year, with the youngest being 7 years old. It said 1 at the beginning, didn't it? In 2014, the trust prescribed antidepressants to a 1-year-old boy, according to figures obtained by the Dundee Evening Telegraph. A spokesperson for NHS Tayside told the Evening Telegraph the drugs could be used to treat a number of different conditions beyond their most common use as a treatment for clinical depression. She said antidepressants are a type of medication used to treat clinical depression or prevent it from reoccurring. However, they can also be used to treat a wide range of medical conditions such as chronic pain and anxiety disorders. If appropriate for an individual patient, antidepressants are prescribed and often used in combination with therapy to treat more severe depression or other mental health conditions caused by emotional distress. What a shit. Secret Nazi base just found all the way in the Arctic. The recently uncovered base was used by Nazis as a weather station. History tells us that the Nazis sought to rule the world, and recent discoveries show that the world in question apparently includes the Arctic Circle. Indeed, during the expedition to explore the region in this August, Russian researchers discovered a secret Nazi base which the Nazis used during the war as a weather station. Until now, the site's existence only came in German documents which mentioned it, including the 1942 book Wettertrupp, Hugin. The Russian researchers discovered definitely proves the site. Long speculation on by conspiracy theories is real. Before it was only known from written sources, but now we also have real proof. Russian National Park senior researcher Evgen Ermolov said in a statement, relying on authentic historic resources, including the memoirs of one of the members of the German meteorologists group, we have conducted a study of the station. Now we can reconstruct events and dispel false myths. Called Shasta Grabber, treasure hunter in English, the meteorological station is located in Alexanderland, Russia. Adolf Hitler supposedly gave the direct order to build the site in 1942 after the Germans invaded Russia. The Luftwaffe would airdrop supplies to the outpost by the Nazis, but the Nazis ultimately abandoned the station in 1944 after staph ate roundworm affected polar bear meat, contracted trichinos and had to be rescued. WikiLeaks email exposes Clinton gun running out to terrorists. Once a secret email belonging to Democrat Party presidential nominee Hillary Clinton exposes the involvement of Obama's then Secretary of State in shipping weapons to jihadists, including to terrorists in the Islamic State or ISIS, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange said last week, speaking to the far-left Democracy Now! program, Assange highlighted the fact that Clinton played a key role in funneling weapons from Libya, which she helped destroy alongside jihadist allies on the ground, to Obama-backed terror groups in Syria. One email reveals that an effort by Libyan dictator Mohammed Gaddafi, he wasn't a dictator, he was a good man, to create a gold-backed currency for the region was among the key reasons globalists supported killing Gaddafi and destroying Libya. Other emails reveal that the Obama administration knowingly supported Al-Qaeda and the Muslim Brotherhood in Syria, hoping to create an Islamic State. Another shows that Clinton knew her Libyan rebels were massacring blacks as a part of an ethnic cleansing campaign, along with other war crimes. So far, though, the press has largely ignored the scandals and is, in some especially bizarre cases, has even tried to deny reality. The pro-transparency organisation WikiLeaks has released, among other documents related to Clinton, a trove of more than 30,000 emails and attachments sent to them to and from her private server. The emails cover Clinton's tenure as Secretary of State, perhaps the most infamous for the disasters in Libya, including the Benghazi attack that killed all Americans, the takeover of the country by terror armies, and the brutal summary execution of former US terror war ally. We came, we saw, we died. Clinton boasted about Gaddafi before crackling manically. Despite a virtual blackout by Clinton's supporting establishment media, Clinton involvement in the arming, training and funding of terrorist groups in Libya and Syria has been well known to the more informed segments of the electorate for years. In recent months, GOP presidential candidate Donald Trump has been making a big issue out of it. The scandals could prove damaging to Clinton once again, especially considering her apparently false testimony made to lawmakers under oath. Every type of cancer can be cured in weeks, according to this doctor. Dr. Leonard Caldwell claims that any type of cancer can be cured in just 2 to 16 weeks. Make sure you take a look at the video below this article. You will be surprised when you see it. Yes, that's true. Cancer can be cured. I hope you'll be amazed as I was when I watched the video for the first time. Cancer is one of the most dangerous and deadly diseases today. A lot of families have a lot of member cause of this deadly disease. My dad died of cancer when I was 17. That was an extremely painful experience for me, and it had changed my life completely. The worst thing in your life is to look how the cancer eats your closest family members and friends from the inside, and you can't do anything about it. When I saw Dr. Caldwell's video and article, I was so happy and amazed, because I don't want to see people die from this terrible disease, and their closest friends and family suffer if they lose one. Cancer can attack anyone. You can never know who will be its next victim. So make sure you watch this video below and start believing that there is hope for cancer, all cancer and future cancer patients. You've probably heard the term cancer can be treated with the conventional chemotherapy treatments and prescribed medications, but do you actually believe that these medications can cure cancer? I don't. Donald Trump nominates man whose firm tripled price of insulin to regulate drug companies. Alex Azar would be a star for better healthcare and lower drug prices, said Mr. Trump. Donald Trump's pick for Health Secretary Alex Azar was previously an executive to at a pharmaceutical company that repeatedly raised the price of its drugs and tripled the cost of its top-selling insulin over 5 years. He served as a company president, it has emerged. Mr. Trump announced his choice on Monday, tweeting that Mr. Azar would be a star for better health care and lower drug prices. If Mr. Azar becomes Health and Human Services Secretary, he will oversee a £1,076 billion department responsible for America's major insurance program, including Obamacare, public health, medical research and food and drug safety. He would succeed Tom Price, who resigned in September after alleged using private and government planes at the expense of taxpayers. The nomination has sparked criticism, however, over Mr. Azar's own track record by Eli Lilly, a pharmaceutical giant that has one of several to repeatedly increase the price of insulin, a life-saving drug. Cannabis to be legalised in the UK within 5 to 10 years, say MPs. That is not good enough. That is just not good enough. We all know it cures cancer. We all know it has many health benefits, so them keeping it away from us like that, or attempting to, is further murder. A group of cross-party MPs who've been on a fact-finding trip to Canada predict that the UK will fully legalise cannabis use within 5 to 10 years. Canada became the first G7 country to allow recreational use of the drug in 2018. Of the three politicians in the group, one had a significant shift in his position. Labour's David Lammy now backs legalisation against his party's official stance. Mr Lammy, alongside Conservative Jonathan de Jongley and Liberal Democrat Sir Norman Lamb, were all filmed on their journey for a Radio 1 News B documentary called Legalising Weed, Canada's Story. It's bullshit. They know it cures cancer. They know it cures many other problems. And then you've got GC Math as well, where David Noakes has been, they're trying to extradite him to have spent 14 years in a French prison because he cured cancer with GC Math. We need rid of these corrupt bastards, and we need to take the control of this place back. 7 cancer-curing products hidden in your home. If you take the time to monitor that what you eat and how much you exercise, it's really important for you not to forget to extend these habits into your housekeeping routine. This is because countless items in your home are contaminated with harsh chemicals that slowly accumulate into your tissue and cause toxic overload. These items could potentially be cancer-causing products. While it's best to only buy organic, homemade and traditional products, here are 7 possible cancer-causing products and household items you shouldn't replace as soon as possible. Shampoo, scented candles, and there's 5 more, including those plug-in air fresheners. Links in description. You seriously need to know these things so you don't have these poisonous things puking toxic fumes into your home. The Telegraph. MPs told it's too late to stop no deal. Even no confidence vote in Johnson as soon as Common returns after summer cannot halt October 31st Brexit, say no deal aid Cummings. The Observer. Secret report reveals government fear on school chaos after no deal Brexit. Risk of axed exams and food shortages informing public may cause panic. Remember right at the beginning I said Operation Fear is in full swing. That's what this is all about. People's Vote targets 100 marginals. Express. Love split poll only has himself to blame. Parasite. What Britain really thinks about Harry and Meghan. Parasite, that's what we really think. Tory MPs ask for Farage's mercy. At least 10 Conservatives in secret plea to Brexit donor. The Fail. Get new orders, Monsignor Barnier. Hard-hitting message from Brexit Minister as Boris opens EU hostilities and promises backstop spectomy. Why did Naomi go buy gun tycoon her Glock mega party? There's really nothing in these things. Shit sheets to watch. Mirror. Angie Bauer. I was drugged and raped while married to David. Real reason summer is over for Paul. Race row over new Strictly judge. Ex-dancing on ice judge says BBC box ticking. The People. Sherry, my brother's tumour fight. Kidnapped Karen blames mum for Shannon hell. Mother's fury at Matthew's vile smears. Waste of paper. Singer loses health battle. TV legend Joe dead, age 64. Tommy and Tyson to be thumping good telly. Wow, that really is a shit paper. The Times. Doctors halt the menopause. Pioneering surgery can delay effects of for 20 years. Boris drops 2 billion NHS cash bomb to woo female voters. Remainers plot to oust 100 Brexiteers by tactical voting. Megan has found a new pet project. It's a shaggy dog story. And finally, and I'm the one not allowed on the beach. So true. I was dating her, but she was seeing someone else on the side. I admit I didn't handle that well, but I don't want this to discourage you from being honest with me in the future.